Welcome back to A Book for My Sister podcast, where we are just two sisters hanging out and talking about books. My name's Cassie.
And my name's Amelia.
And we have a lot of book thoughts, so thanks for joining us today. And we hope you follow along our reading journey by subscribing to our podcast and leaving us comments on what y'all are reading right now. We will always preface discussions with whether there are spoilers or not. Overall, there will always be light spoilers at the very least, since we are going to be giving descriptions of the books. Today, I don't think there will be much spoilers,
No,
but Amelia,
there really won't be.
What are you drinking today?
Today, I am drinking a gingerbread latte, oat milk, of course, with an extra shot from a local coffee shop. And you know what? As you know, I spent about 30 to 40 minutes going on my little extravaganza to go get my coffee. Mm-hmm. And it's just okay. So,
That's the worst.
It is what it is. I know, when you buy a coffee and you spend all that time to go get it and it's just okay and you're like, I could have maybe made this better at home. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's a coffee and I am sleepy and I have a caffeine headache. So I can't complain too much. Cassie, what are you drinking today?
I am drinking a coffee from a coffee shop that also is a little disappointing. Oh. But I didn't pay for it, so it's fine. I didn't steal it. Someone bought it for me.
I swiped a coffee from the coffee shop.
Someone bought it for me. And it's their Grinch special. It's
what does that mean?
Raspberry matcha, and it originally came with whipped cream and sprinkles. I got no whipped cream, but I said, bring on the sprinkles. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't know if the sprinkles, I think the sprinkles turned the drink from green to brown.
Ew. Yeah, probably.
So it's just a
brown
dirty
matcha?
It looks like a dishwater,
Ew.
And it's just really sweet, and it's cold because I got it iced because I don't like hot matcha. Okay. And so
well, that's why it's cold.
Yeah. And so it's just not doing it for me. But I'm drinking it.
That sounds nasty. Also, just sprinkles straight up thrown in any drink sounds gross. Without the whipped cream to act as the buffer between the drink and the whipped and the
yeah, I guess so.
Sprinkles.
But it's fun. It was fun when they were floating on the top, and now they're all floating to the bottom, and
now they've
created a sludge at the bottom of my drink.
Whoa, that sounds so good. Okay, well, I hate this for us that we have.
I know, it's so sad, and I'm also very sleepy.
Wake up. I'm sleepy too. Okay, so our drinks are mid today. But in light of the mid coffee and matcha, today we will be talking about our favorite books that we read this year, and just recapping how we feel about our reading in 2025 and possibly some reading goals for 2026. We will see. But we're gonna talk about our favorite books we read this year, guys. So settle in, grab yourself a better cup of coffee than the ones that we have.
Yes.
And we're gonna yap now.
Let's yap.
Okay, so my first favorite book, these are not in no particular order. They're just kind of, they're tied for favorite book for me. So mine are in no particular order. The first book that I would like to share with you guys is called Poor Dear. That's deer like the animal. So not like, oh, you little deer. It's Poor Dear like the animal. And I forgot to put the author. The author's name is Claire Oshetsky. So, Poor Dear by Claire Oshetsky. In this book, our main character's name is Margaret. She's gone through a lot. We kind of open the book with learning that when she was little, her friend died while they were having a play date, and they were 5 or something. And so that's Margaret's first memory, is basically learning her friend is dead. But Margaret can't remember how it happened. She doesn't remember if it was her fault. And so she's kind of racked with guilt about, she doesn't know what really happened. Nobody is outwardly blaming her for it, out loud, but they're kind of acting in a way that kind of assumes that it's her fault. And so her guilt kind of manifests throughout her life. And she's so consumed by it that her guilt actually becomes an entity. It becomes a small little deer. And Margaret calls this deer, poor deer. It's really sad. She's like this little poor blue deer. And so poor deer follows Margaret throughout her young adulthood as she tries to work through her memories and decide what is real and what is not. It is a sad book, and it's a little bit unsettling because Margaret, you're in her brain, and she is like recalling memories throughout her life. And then she'll recall like a full memory, and then at the end of her memory, she'll be like, "That's not how it happened." And then she'll tell you it's like she's going through her memories and trying to decide what really happened and what didn't happen and what she wishes happened. And so it's a little bit like an unreliable narrator story, in the sense that she sort of created thoughts and memories that make her life more bearable than maybe what actually happened. It is a little bit magical realism-y, but it's nothing too crazy. It's not the most difficult read for magical realism. But at first it might be a little bit confusing the way it's written. But I think it's written really beautifully. And Margaret I just want to give her a hug. And is great. And so this book, 10 out of 10. I thought about it for quite a few days after I read it. Probably a couple weeks after I read it. So it is sad. It's not a happy book. But it's sort of coming of agey too, I guess. But yeah. Very good book. Poor Dear by Claire Oshetsky. Popcorn Cassie.
Popcorn me. One of my favorites and Amelia's favorite books that we read this year is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This book is very cozy. It is very dark and a little violent and a little crazy, but at the same time, it's very cozy. I remember I was reading it. I can't remember if I was reading it around Christmas, not Thanksgiving. Yeah, I was all curled up on my parents' couch reading this book, and they were like, "Cassie, Christmas dinner," and I said, "Oh, it's time for Christmas dinner," and I was reading my book. It was a very good vibe. So yeah, this is definitely like for Amelia. I don't really reread books, but this is gonna be her new fall reread staple.
I still haven't reread it, actually.
Oh, she hasn't done it.
I haven't had time.
She's a liar.
It's in my pile. It's in my pile. I'm going to read it. I might read it in January because it's still going to be cold. So, yeah, okay. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and there's some scenes in the book where it's really cold and you just feel cold reading it. Like, she's so good. Yeah. So this book is a bit older, so probably heard of this book. It's pretty popular, I would say.
Yeah.
Because it actually is the first. Didn't Donna Tartt invent dark academia as a genre? Yeah, this is the first dark academia.
Yeah, episodes before we have talked about how she invented dark academia as a genre with this book. So yeah. It's from like 2001, so it's not super old, but it's old enough to where most people like tick the book talk. I think
Book Talk
recommend. I'm not on Book Talk, but I think they recommend it if they're like, "What dark academia book do you want to read?"
Yeah, I see. When I bought it, I had never heard of it. I saw it in a bookstore, and I was like, "Oh, that looks good." And then before I got the chance to read it, one of my favorite podcast ladies, she was like, "Oh my God, I'm reading this book, Secret History," and I was like, "Oh wait, that's sitting on my shelf." And then
you're like, "Wait, I have that book."
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, she likes it. I must like it." So yeah, great book. Okay. So we follow a group of classics students at a private university in like Massachusetts or something, or Vermont. Is it Vermont?
New England. I think
it's Vermont.
It's in New England.
Yeah, New England. Our main character is Richard Papin, and he is a student at this prestigious private university, and we kind of follow along his journey as he slowly gets an in with the classics professor and thus this mysterious classics group. This group, there's like 5 or 6 of them. This group is obsessed with their professor and reinventing the classics, and they're also very wealthy from very rich families because private New England university. Hello. So yeah, throughout the book, they travel to like one of their country houses together, owned by one of the classmates' aunts, and they bicker about academics and their own personal dramas, and they're just, very
petty.
I was going with that. Very petty, yeah. but
in really dangerous ways.
Yeah. But when the group decides as a collective that one member must die, Richard becomes aware of some goings-on that everyone else was keeping from him. It's very dramatic. It's New England. That's all we'll say about the plot, really. But, I mean, it's
that's
New England in the snow and the spring.
Spoiler.
Yeah, that's on the back of the book.
And it's in the first page of the book.
And the first page, you find out who dies the first page of the book. So
the first page of the book, yes.
Not a spoiler.
So you know it's coming, which is also a little bit like...
Yeah, so you're kind of like, wait, what? And then you find out... Well,
you're on edge the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's very dramatic, dark academia. It's cozy. It's New England in the snow and the spring. And it's just something that we both loved a lot. And we loved talking about it because it was so good.
So good.
Yeah, and I have taken several classics courses in my college career, and so anyone that has taken a classics course knows exactly these kind of people, because they feel that those are the classics people, the people who study the classics. I hate to say it, they can be a little pretentious. I'm sorry. I was never truly into the classics. It was like I had a requirement that I needed. So I was like, let me just take a few classics courses. And I literally was like, you guys, what are we doing?
I remember hearing you complain about. I remember you calling and being like, these people are just...
they're just so themselves. Yeah, no. It's just... I think... It's a very interesting conversation, but there's a lot of, I don't know, superiority complexes with people who study the classics in general, and I think that has to do with, like, the Greeks and the Romans being, like, the pinnacles of civilization, and so they're like, we must study and observe, and it's like, who cares, man? I mean, yeah, they're great. Democracy, we love that, but they also were violent and crazy, and just like
they had any other fight to the gladiators,
and they smelled like probably, and so yeah, I just think there's a lot of like I said, a superiority complex when it comes to studying the classics, and I think it's there can be not everybody, but these people and people that I knew. And also, there's, in the city I live in, there's this weird, unaccredited university, and do you even know about this, Amelia?
No.
Oh my gosh, I really want to say the name of it. And all they teach is classics, and it is an extremely, like, conservative, it is I did a deep dive on this school. Like, I was watching a ton of their videos, I was going to their websites. It's so expensive. One time I walked by one of their buildings, I looked in, they were all wearing robes and just...
What?
Yeah.
They read this book and they were like,
and they took it too far.
This our lives.
Literally. And so, yeah, the only degrees they offer is like a master's in classical studies.
If it's not accredited, then who cares?
I know. It's so weird.
What's the point of paying for a master's degree?
And it's so expensive. And yeah, it's like
just go to normal school.
I know. I was watching one of the talks or like something that a professor did, and you could tell that he was like, this is a university where people's opinions aren't, looked down on. It's like the kind of rhetoric that like conservative people do, where they're like, people just don't respect anyone's opinions anymore, and it's like, well, it's because your opinion is mean and I don't like you.
Don't be a piece of shit.
Yeah, it was very much like that, and I was like, oh, okay.
Prager University funded classics school.
This is PragerU if it was a classical dark academia school. Like,
so bizarre.
It's so weird. So
that's crazy.
That reminds me of this. Like, these people are crazy. That's it for me. I'll get off my soapbox. Yeah. So, yeah, anyone who's taking a classics course will know exactly who these people are, but it still is very interesting, and the people are cool, and there are lots of elements of Greek myths in it that are very, very cool. So, highly, highly recommend. Popcorn. Amelia!
Oh my god.
I picked you.
Okay. Wow, I'm so special. Okay, so the next book that was one of my favorite books of the year is called The Berry Pickers by Amanda Peters. Guess what? This is another sad book, people. I read this entire book in one day. I used to work at this job where I basically didn't do anything all day long, so I would just read all day. So I mean, did it take me like 8 hours to read this book? Sure. Probably I interspersed with some work activities. It took me one day, and I brought the book home from my job to read, which I never do, or I never would do. I would just read it at work. But this one came home with me. I was like, I have to finish this now.
You're coming home with me.
You're coming home with me, Berry Pickers.
Berry Pickers.
So, in this book, The Berry Pickers, we open with a Micmac family in 1962, who they're an indigenous tribe in Nova Scotia, I believe. So it's 1962, and they travel to Maine during every summertime to pick blueberries for work. So weeks after arriving, this one particular time, their young daughter Ruthie disappears, and their son Joe, it's like kind of a big family. So Joe is Ruthie's brother, and they're very close, and he left her for a second, and then she disappears. And so he is just beside himself, and he continues to feel this way, and we follow him through the book, through his life, and he just feels so guilty and so upset that he lost his sister. And they would go back every summer, and they would look for her, and they would pick blueberries, and they would look for her, and it was really sad. So then we switch points of view to a girl named Norma, and she is an adopted daughter to a white family in Maine. Her mother is super overprotective, and Norma has always kind of felt like something was off or something was weird about her family, and why her mom is so overprotective, and she won't let her do certain things, or she won't let people take her picture. And she's like, what's going on? And Norma has dreams that feel real with other people in them that she doesn't recognize, but she knows she must have seen them somewhere, because that's how dreams work. And so she tells her mother about these dreams, but her mother is like, no, those are just dreams, it doesn't matter. And so she pushes them away. And so as Norma grows up, she looks deeper into her past and realizes that her parents didn't tell her everything about her adoption. So I'm going to stop the description there. But the book is really heartbreaking and really beautiful, and it's written so well, and it's a really good book. It's a really sad book. Highly recommend.
Sounds very sad.
It's really sad. I think I told you to read this book.
You did.
After I read it. I did.
Yes.
You should read it. It's good.
My semester's over in a week, so then I will be reading until mid-January.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
You have until mid-January to read this book.
Oh my god.
I'm just kidding.
So I have so many other things that you've given me that I need to read.
Anyway, popcorn Cassie.
Oh my gosh, it's my turn again.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Okay, one of my apps, I would say this is my number. Okay, I know we're not ranking anything. This is my number one favorite book.
You can rank. I just am not ranking.
Okay, so I'll say this one's number one, and I'll say Secret History number's two. And I don't think Amelia's going to agree with me, because she also read this book. My number one favorite book all year, Timeline by Michael
I can't believe
Crichton.
this, bro.
I know.
I'm outraged.
I loved it. Loved it.
I'm going to need you to explain.
Okay. Yes, we are going to talk about this later in our
in January
Friday.
Or something. Yeah.
So I'm only going to do a little bit, and obviously we'll pick up our debate later. So basically, as we can tell, I'm a history girl, okay? I love my World War II books. I like my classics. I'm currently reading an ethnography. It's great. I love learning about history. And like many history girlies, we've all had a mini obsession with the medieval times, right? I mean, come on. It's great. This book takes time travel, medieval times, science fiction, and just everything that you could ever want, and it's all in one beautiful little package. and it follows a group of anthropologists, archaeologists, historians, antiquities experts, and scientists in a tech company as they go into the past, and they go to medieval times. And it was like 1470 something. I don't know. I can't remember.
Is it like the Dark Ages?
It's
what's the difference between the Dark Ages and the medieval times?
I can't remember which one came first.
I feel like Dark Ages is first.
The Dark Ages was with like the plagues and all that stuff. So I think
that was like the 1300s.
Yeah. So I think it was 14. I don't remember. But yeah, so it's like I think it's very, he did a lot of, Michael Crichton, he did a lot of research into this actual medieval town, and like what it looked like, how people would have lived, and just like, it's like you're learning about medieval times, but it's in a fun, action-packed time travel book. So I don't know how much more I can say about that since we are going to cover
That's
it,
true.
But
we are going to cover it.
It has an ending that literally shook me to my core. It was so sick and twisted. I absolutely loved it. My mouth was on the floor. I cannot wait to talk about it. I loved this book. That's all I'll say.
Well, we'll have to wait until our Into the Crichtonverse episode for Cassie to fully discuss why this is her favorite book, and that's totally fine. So y'all just have to tune in for that.
Popcorn Gizmo.
Oh, he's not in the room. He would say, meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow.
Meow, meow, meow. I say, my favorite book. That's what he sounds like. Okay, Popcorn Amelia.
Oh my gosh, okay. Okay, so my next favorite book of the year is called Real Americans by Rachel Khong. I also read this book in one day at work, and this is a thick book, you guys. It's a thick book. I also have a really beautiful copy of this book because it's like the Barnes & Noble collector's copy or whatever, and I got it because it was like half off. And so the ends of the pages are dyed pink, and there's like lotus flowers printed on the sides of the pages. It's really beautiful. Anyway, we get 3 different points of view throughout this book. And the first one opens with our POV from Lily, who is the child of Chinese immigrants, and she falls in love with a wealthy white American whose name is Matthew. And his family owns like a pharmaceutical company empire, kind of like Eli Lilly. And so he is like uber wealthy, like not just like, oh, he's rich. Like his family are like billionaires. And she doesn't really know this at first, and then she kind of learns it. So we get their like romance is sort of like the first third of the book. And then in the middle of the book, we're getting her son's point of view. Her son's name is Nick, and he has an estranged relationship with his father. And so he's kind of dealing with that. He's in high school, and we're getting like him like working through all these feelings about his relationship with his dad and with his race and his friends and like going to college. And then finally we get a point of view from Lily's mother, whose name is May. And she is a scientist who escaped from China during Mao Zedong's Cultural Revolution. And so we do get some history here as well. I actually learned some things that I didn't even know about Mao Zedong's Cultural Revolution. I was like, oh my God, I had no idea. And it was just, again, the writing was so beautiful. And this book was just really like, it's just so like human and sad, and it was just a gorgeously written book. There were some things that kind of, I don't know if it was trying to sort of be magical realism adjacent.
Oh.
Guillermo's food just went off. But there are some things that come up throughout the book that are kind of like magic or something, where like time stops for the family members. And there are some things that happen that maybe we don't fully get full resolution on by the end. And people have sort of critiqued that. And you know what? I honestly read this book and I was like, it does not bother me that we didn't get a total like bow on top of everything that happened in this book.
I need a bow.
I know you do.
I need a bow.
But I think this year I learned that I don't need a bow on top of everything. If it's like
Love
a glaring thing that's like, but I was just like, you know what? This book was so gorgeously written and so sad. And I was sitting at my desk fucking crying at work. Like, this book was just beautiful and sad. And it was just amazing. And so I was like, you know what? We didn't get like one or two things wrapped up. And I'm actually fine with that. I'm at peace with that, Rachel Kong. Thank you so much for this book. So, highly recommend. Very good. Again, very sad. Don't read these books that I'm recommending to you unless you want to cry, is what my piece of advice. Popcorn. Fiona. Is Fiona in the room?
She was actually just barking, so I hope this didn't.
Oh my
pick
God.
That up. It was.
I didn't hear her. It probably
okay.
did. She had something to say a couple minutes ago, I guess.
Yeah, she's
not anymore.
Man.
Okay, well, Popcorn Cassie, I guess.
Okay. My next book, this also, I did cry a little bit at the end, was Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I thoroughly enjoyed that book. I thought it was just wonderful because, you know, when you read the original trilogy, watch the movies, you're like, why is Hamish such an ass? And then you find out why. And you're like, wow, if that happened to me, I would also be an alcoholic.
Be an ass. Oh my God.
Because, damn, has he lived a horrible life.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then you're kind of just like, oh, yep, nope, that makes perfect sense. Great.
Did you watch the teaser trailer?
I did.
Was it good?
So
I didn't
excited.
watch it.
Yes, it was very good. I'm very excited. I think it's going to be fabulous. I cannot wait for the movie. When is it? Next year?
I think next year.
Oh, okay.
I think like next Thanksgiving time.
Next Thanksgiving? Oh my God.
Well, that's when the Hunger Games movies would come out.
I guess so.
Although, when did Ballad of Songbird? That was like January that came out.
Yeah, I don't know. But I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I think it was so she wrote Ballad of Songbird and Snakes, and then she wrote this one. And so I do think it's interesting that, you know, we get like nods to like the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes with like the District 12 lore and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, we had one Victor. We don't know where she went, you know. So I think that was funny how it kind of connected back to that one. And so,
this book is almost like, I felt like this book was so, and I didn't read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, so I don't know.
Neither did I.
The movie was I sort of got this from the movie, but this book really felt like book of cameos.
It really was. Yeah, no.
It was like cameo.
Absolutely. Okay, I do agree with that, and that's what I was trying to get at. Yeah, because they're like, here's Beatty, here's Virus, and you're like, I know you from Catching Fire. So I will say, yes, I definitely agree. It was like cameo, boom, 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 and but I didn't hate that. But as a Hunger Games lover, I was like, oh my God. So I really liked that. Oh, and when I read the ending, I feel like everyone knows this.
Spoiler, maybe.
Yeah, it's a spoiler.
Skip ahead.
How he wins the game. The game is that he throws the axe into the force field. It bounces back and it hits the girl.
He pulls a Katniss.
How was that a cat? Oh,
but with more murder.
And when I was reading that, I swear I was having deja vu. Was that mentioned in the original trilogy of how he won his games?
No.
It wasn't? Because
I don't think so.
I thought maybe it was, because when I read, then he was like, when he had his axe in his hand, and he was like, how am I going to, kill this big, strong girl? I was like, oh, I remember how he's going to do it. He's going to throw it into the force field, and it's going to go back and hit her. And, or no, she's going to throw it. She throws the axe at him, and it misses him. It hits her. So that's what it is. And I was like, I remembered that. Like,
well, it could just be that you're thinking of, maybe it's just you feel like that because Katniss shot the arrow into the force field.
But that didn't cause it to go back and then kill somebody.
No, but I mean,
I don't know.
But if that's the situation that was happening, you might have just like sort of put two and two together before it actually happened.
Maybe, but I swear that I had read that before. That I had read that.
I don't remember. Now, I didn't sit there. I did not read Mockingjay and
I did.
I had the first book read to me, but I don't recall ever hearing really that much about Haymitch's background at all.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like we wouldn't have learned. And in the movies, we never get him being like, when I was in the games, da-da-da-da.
She threw that. No, I don't think it wasn't the movie. I remember it. I thought it was maybe in one of the books that they said that.
I don't remember. I am not a good source for Hunger Games knowledge, so I don't know.
Yeah, and it's been so long since I read the original trilogy.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was so sad.
It is a sad book.
I was crying at the end. It was devastating. But I remember you kind of
This is our sad books of the year.
Yeah, you kind of said, you were like, it felt almost like they were killing people. We said this in an episode where they were killing people for shock.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I was like, well, yeah, it's the Hunger Games. What do you expect? And you're
it felt almost...
yeah.
I mean, it felt cheap to me, but I also think that maybe that's sort of the point, is that it's like, well, everyone is so desensitized to all this death that it's cheap anyway because they're using it as like entertainment.
Wow.
But I
Powerful
also
stuff.
Wow. But I think there's just something about this being the 5th like Hunger Games book that it's like, okay, like I hear you that this is happening. But like, I don't know. It just is so much that it feels like, it's like, sometimes I'm almost like, what is the point of me getting attached to any character in this book? Because I know they're going to die. There's like no point. And I know that Haymitch doesn't die. So there's no stakes for him because I know he's going to be
I guess
fine.
there aren't really any stakes in the book.
Which is
for the
sort
characters
of...
that you're introduced to, and it's like, well, obviously they're all going to die because it's...
Obviously, I know that Beatty and Wyrus and whatever the old lady... Mags.
Oh, yeah, Mags.
Like, I know they're going to be fine, at least until we meet them later. So, to me, it's just, I think it was just because it's like, this isn't like Catching Fire or like the first Hunger Games where you're like, oh my God, can you believe this is happening in this book? You're like, okay, yeah, I understand this is happening in this book. And like, everyone, and like, whatever, like, what's Katniss's sister's name? Prue?
Prue?
What's her name?
Great British Bake Off.
What's her sister's name?
It's Prim.
Prue. I mean, Prue didn't sound right. Prim. Like, okay, like, Prim dies. Like, it's just like, their family members are dying. And, like, so Haymitch's family members die. But I was almost just like, this is so... Like, it's, like, predictable in a way. But then it's also, like, it feels like Suzanne Collins is trying to be like, and then another person died. And then another person died. And then another person. And it's like, okay, all right, I understand. I don't know. That's just how I feel. Maybe we need to have an episode about that book. There's a lot of feelings.
Maybe. I'm feeling a lot of things.
But anyway, you like this book a lot.
Yes, good book. Very excited for the movie. I think the casting was great. Can't wait.
Wait, who's in it? Anyone I know?
Oh gosh, let me think. Elle Fanning is Effie.
Oh, yes.
That really good actress.
Okay, great.
What are their names? No, I'm just gonna pull it up real quick because it was really good and I'm gonna read it to you. Maya Hawke is Wyrus. That's gonna be cool.
Right.
McKenna Grace, that's who I was thinking of, is Maisley.
Who the hell is McKenna Grace? You know who that is?
She was a child actress. Like, she was literally in everything. And now she's, like, an adult now. And so now she's doing all these great... She's really talented. Jesse Plemons is Plutarch. He's literally perfect for Plutarch. Ralph Fiennes is President Snow.
Oh my God,
Glenn
Ralph.
Close is Drusilla.
Oh my God.
Kieran Culkin is Caesar Flickerman. That's exciting.
That will be a great performance.
That will be incredible. Yep. So, great casting. Anyway. Can't wait.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll see the movie, obviously.
Yes.
It'll be good. Hopefully I won't bawl in the theater.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe crying in the theater this time.
Probably.
Jeez, probably. Okay. Amelia. Oh, popcorn. Okay. Amelia. I forgot I was supposed to do that.
Okay, well, my next favorite book is called Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. So this book, if you've ever read Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer, it kind of gives Annihilation vibes, but it's less sci-fi, but more heartbreaking than Annihilation. So, and it's also, of course, who can say it with me, beautifully written.
Beautifully written.
Beautiful. In this book, we have, again, two different points of view. We get two different points of view from wives Miri and Leia. So they're married. Leia is like a marine biologist of some kind, like deep sea something. We don't really get a whole lot of details about her job because her wife Miri doesn't really know a lot of details about her job either. She kind of can't say what her job is. So Miri is not a marine biologist. She's just chilling above ground. And so at the beginning of this book, Leia has just come back from a deep sea mission after everyone believed that their submarine had disappeared. So she was gone for much longer than anyone anticipated. There were like 3 people on this submarine. And they were gone. Horrific. Yeah, they were gone for a really long time. It was supposed to be like a week or 2, and it actually was like months. So everyone thought that the submarine had disappeared. She comes back. She's clearly not the same. So a lot of what we get of Leah's point of view is her kind of looking back onto her and Miri's relationship and what she does for like marine biology and what she loves about the ocean. And we sort of get a glimpse about what might have happened to her down there. And then
did she Mary's have to eat her coworkers?
No, she did not. No. What?
I don't know.
No cannibalism in this book. And Miri's point of view is also kind of reflective, but is coping in real time with what has happened to her wife, and she's grieving her, even though Leia is like in front of her. She's a completely different person. She's like nonverbal. She's not eating or sleeping. She's like in the tub constantly with the water running. She is just like, is such a different human being.
She yearns for the ocean.
She yearns for the water. And ultimately, Miri figures out what she can do to help Leia, even if it is still like heartbreaking and strange. And this book, just like, to get deep for a second, you guys, to get real for me, this book just kind of reminded me of how scary it is to me personally. The idea of like going off and doing something that you would consider to be routine or normal in your life, and then coming back completely changed, or just like having your life change so drastically, so suddenly, in such a like different or negative way, and it's like beyond your control. Like anything could happen to any of us at any time. You know, and you could come back to your partner and something could have happened to you, and now you're a totally different person, and your relationship is totally changed. Your relationship with your family, like your life could be totally over as you knew it before, and now it's something totally different, and that's like so scary. You know, I think that's so scary. And I was reading this book and I felt so just like scared, because like that is like, you know, I'm scared of pregnancy and I'm scared of this.
My life changing.
My life changing drastically, quickly, in a negative way. Yeah. And it's just a book about like processing grief in like real time when there's someone in front of you, and you've got to move on with this person in front of you. And it was so like, I could just feel Mary's grief, and it was the whole time, and it was just really sad and really beautiful. And it is also kind of like a sci-fi book, so there are very like unsettling, strange things that are like happening in this book as well. So it's like a sad romance drama book with sci-fi elements. So highly recommend. Go cry about it with me, guys.
Okay.
Popcorn Cassie, do you have another book?
I do. I have the book I am currently reading that's soon to become a new fave, because I'm really enjoying it. It is Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil by John Berendt. It's a nonfiction account he's a journalist, of his time spent in the 80s, in the 90s in the city of Savannah, Georgia. And so it's nonfiction, but it really reads like fiction, because he meets some of the most outlandish characters, all real people, and he talks about them, and his just is getting to know the city, and it's such a beautiful city, and with crazy beautiful people, and I haven't even gotten to the murder yet. It's about a murder trial. I haven't even gotten there. I'm on page like 100. Haven't even gotten to the murder trial, but I am fully immersed in it, and I am just absolutely loving it. Like, for like one guy that he met was this really weird guy who used to work at a chemical plant, and then the chemical plant closed, and they had to bury all the chemicals on an island, to get them away. He kept one bottle of one of the most poisonous substances known to man, and everyone always joked that he would put it in the water supply and kill everybody.
Oh my God.
And this journalist asked him about that. He was like, hey, have you heard about this rumor that you're going to kill everybody? And he's like, yeah, I wouldn't do that, but like, it's fun that people think I will. Like, crazy. Right. Yeah. And he would just go to Clary's diner every day and eat his breakfast, or not eat his breakfast. Sometimes he would just sit and stare at his breakfast. And he would...
The guy with the water bottle?
The guy with the water bottle. With the
poison. He had a water bottle full of poison.
Oh, it was no, I didn't say water bottle. It's just a bottle full of poison.
I just assumed it was a water bottle.
No, it's a safe container full of poison. Okay. No, they said he'd put it in the water supply.
Okay, I think I just conflated those two things, and I was like, a water bottle?
And he would also do this weird thing where he would freeze flies and then tie strings to them, and then once they thawed, they would just be flies on a string, and he would just walk the flies around. And that's just one of the few fascinating people
so bizarre.
In the city of Savannah, Georgia. Like, it's so interesting. And so, like, it's basically like an ethnographic account of Savannah in the 90s, and so I am... Like, he's studying these people. It's really interesting. I am very much enjoying it, and I cannot wait to get to the murder trial. And I'm going to watch the movie because...
I forget that it's a movie.
Yeah, I'm really, really loving it.
I'll have to read that book when you're done. That sounds interesting.
It is interesting.
I always wanted to read that book, but...
Yeah.
I just like the cover, I think.
The cover is nice.
And so I was like, I have to read it because the cover is nice.
Yeah.
And then I never did. Do you have anything else to say about that book?
The book.
The book?
The book?
The book?
Oh, yeah. Popcorn Amelia.
Okay.
I choked on my ice.
God. My final favorite book of the year is called The Reformatory by Tananarive Due. And I just finished this book like a week or two ago, so this is fresh on my mind. But this book is really sad, also really sad.
Oh my god!
But it's also kind of hopeful-ish. This is the kind of book. It's sort of like a horror, like social systems book. So it's like sort of horror. I was holding my breath basically the entire time I was reading this book because I was so stressed. I was like, I need these two kids to like, I need them to be fine because they're the main characters are two siblings. And so it was just the main characters were written so wonderfully, and I felt like I knew them. They were just two kids. So this book takes place in a fictional town in 1950s Florida and is about the prison system and racism and Jim Crow. And it's also about spirits and ghosts and just like taking care of your community and resistance during like Jim Crow and just generally in a racist society. And so it follows two siblings, Gloria and Robert, who are living on their own because their mother has passed away from cancer and their father was a union organizer. And he was a prominent black community member in a racist southern town. He had to escape to Chicago one night to escape the Klan. And so the siblings are like 12 and 16. Them? But they have like a neighbor who's sort of like a family member, and the kids go and stay with her. So he leaves the kids with somebody. Okay. So they're staying with this like family member basically. And so they're like 12 and 16, but the Gloria, she's the older sibling, something goes down with their neighbor or she feels like a burden. So she moves herself and her brother back out to her family's house, which is next to this like old plantation, which is in this time like a farm, but it was a plantation. And she and Robert are like walking back to their house from town. And the boy, who is the son of the owner of the farm, he used to be friends when they were really little. he was friends with Robert and Gloria, and now, you know, he and Gloria are like 16. And so he comes out and starts sexually harassing Gloria, and Robert, who's 12, was like, I don't think so, and defends her. He like kicks the kid in the kneecap or whatever, and he's then charged by a judge with 6 months in the reformatory, quote unquote reformatory. And so the reformatory is sort of touted as a school, but it's actually just a prison for young boys. And so when Robert gets to the reformatory, he also starts to realize that he can see and interact with the ghosts that are haunting the property. The ghosts are the souls and spirits of the boys who were killed here or died here. So he's really terrified because he's like, oh, kids have died here, and now I'm like experiencing their pain and like seeing them. And he kind of gets to know them, and the ghosts have a request for him. And he's trying to figure out, does he owe these ghosts anything? Does he need to risk himself for them, or does he just need to keep his head down to get out of here? Because it's looking like he's just going to be charged with more and more time, because the law also knows that his dad has escaped somewhere. So they're like, we're just going to keep punishing this 12-year-old until the dad shows himself and we can, you know, get him. So he's like, what do I owe these ghosts, and what do I need to do for myself? And in the meantime, Gloria is trying to hatch a plan to get him out of there before he's killed or sentenced for longer. So it is a really intense book. I was like on edge the whole time, like, oh my God, are these kids going to be okay? And it was really good. It was really good. It was really sad. There were moments of hope, and there are moments where you're like, you know, they just have close bonds with people, with like their family member that they're staying with, and they're just like trying so hard to get him out, and it was really good. It was really sad. 10 out of 10. No notes.
Yeah, it sounds great. It's time for a special segment.
Wait, Cassie, do you have any reflections on your reading from 2025?
I always say I would like to read. Oh, I'm yawning. I don't know why I started talking. Okay. I always say that I would like to read more, but that's it's hard, guys.
It can be hard to make time to read.
Yeah.
Because you have to, like, make time for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to read more fun books. I don't think I read enough fun books. Just like funny or like little romps. Like I don't. Oh, what books that I did not include in here that I read a lot of, that I totally forgot. I read like a ton of oh my God, why can't I remember the name of it? Bridgerton books. I read a ton of Bridgerton books. So like, and those were just like fun little like silly little reads. And so like more fun stuff, like lighthearted stuff like that, I think I'd like to get more into.
I don't remember the last time I read a lighthearted book.
Yeah, it seems like it. That's a problem for you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Seems like something you should deal with it. Oh
I don't mind reading a bunch of heavy books. My reflections on my reading is I didn't even realize that I really like to read books like this until I had put all of them on a list and was like, oh God, I really like something that's sad and depressing and about grief. So I don't know what that's about, but they're all really good. And most of them, which I thought was interesting, that I didn't realize until I had put them in this list, is that most of the books have multiple points of view from different characters. So it's not like one person is the main character. It's like you get multiple main characters, which I just thought was kind of interesting. I did have a goal. Let me check while we're here. I had a goal to read 50 books this year. I don't think I did that.
Really?
Let's pull up. I don't think so.
Oh.
50 books is a lot of books.
I thought you read so much though.
I've read 33 books.
Dang.
So, wow, not even. 50 is a lot. 50 is a lot of books. I have books that are, like, in progress right now, but I'm not going to count those towards my, like, final, like, what I read this year.
Yeah.
So I read 33 books this year. I'm halfway through The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. I'm really hoping to finish that soon. That's kind of his books feel like a slog, and it kind of feels like a slog. But I'm going to get through it. And the writing is good. It's just like, God, this is a slow-ass book. But I hopefully I can finish that before the year, and then I have a Christmas horror book that I want to read before Christmas. I'm not sure that I'm going to finish it before then, but we'll see. So my 2026 goals, I guess, would be, I read so much this year because I was at a job where I could read all day long. And so I feel like I'm going to have a harder time reading next year. Cause right now I'm kind of having a harder time reading since I can't read during the day. So we'll see. I would just like to keep up my same amount of reading if possible for next year. Even if it's with a bunch of sad books. I'm okay with that. But I just need to continue to read.
Time for a special segment. Least favorite books. Because we've read some.
We read some books we don't like. Yeah, you start.
Oh my gosh. I have read 3 of the... one of the
worst books ever.
I was like, one of them is actually the worst book I've ever read. I would not recommend it to anybody. And this book...
Given to you by a horrible man.
Given to me by a horrible man. I could not remember the name of it because I ripped the book in half and I threw it away.
You ripped it in half?
Yes.
Why did you rip it in half?
Because I was angry.
Okay, fair. Oh my God.
And so I was like, well, shoot, I have to remember the name of this book. And I literally couldn't remember it. And then I was talking through it with my work bestie. And then I suddenly got a vision of the book. Because I remember that I was telling you about it as I was reading it. And you were like, what does that word mean, the title? And I was like, oh, it means like begging. Or like you're on your knees, like, like just begging. It's called Supplication by Noor Abi Nakul. Nor, I have beef with you because this book sucks. The idea is really interesting. It is about a woman who was kidnapped by this gross man and she's trapped in his basement, and he stabs her, and she escapes, and it's just her going on this spiritual journey where she like goes to a bunch of places that like I don't even know if they all have meaning. She goes to like her apartment, she goes to her friend's house, she goes to a gas station. I don't know. All that magic, that journey, that spiritual journey, don't have a problem with that. My problem with this book is that the writing is so overly descriptive. It sounds like a young kid who's learning
like
how to
Wattpad
write.
Book.
It sounds like a Wattpad book. Because let's say, for example, the action is she walks across the room to turn the light on. That's all you have to say, right? Wrong. Nor would say, as she stands in her dazed with her pale complexion, she stumbles across the granite floor that shines like pearls in the ocean at night as she hears the clicking, clacking of her shoes, which also shine like pearls in the ocean at night. And she crosses the foyer, reaches out her delicate hand with fingers that have played piano for 27 years, and she flicks the light, revealing a halo of pure angelic moonlight surrounding the beams in which brought her here. Like, it is like...
That was really good.
Thank you. I was really just going. That is I shit you not. Every sentence, every action, that is how it is described. It is only...
That's so funny.
Like, it's like a 190-page book. It's not even long.
That's a lot to happen.
And because I remember, like, I read a page to my roommate, and she said, Cassie, that's not real. And I was like, yes, it is real. It is so bad. But, so like I said, the story itself, interesting idea, and in the end, I was actually gagged by the ending, and I'm surprised I made it to the end, but I was really gagged. She was riding a horse for why, I don't know. She was riding a horse, and then somehow her soul was transported back into the basement because she had never left. And then she was like, then he raised the knife and stabbed me one last time, and I died.
Oh my God!
So it's like this whole book, it was all happening inside her head, this whole mission, this whole journey, all inside her head. None of it was happening, which is like, if the book was good, I would have been like, what a great ending. But because the middle part of the book was so bad. If the writing had
been strong, yeah.
Yeah, because the middle part was so bad, it was so unsatisfying. And I was like, okay, great. This book has 2.5 stars on Goodreads. I went and I read a lot of reviews.
Everyone agrees with you.
So many people wrote DNF, did not finish. Like, people hated it.
I didn't even realize that you had finished this book. I thought that you did put it down.
I finished it because I was like, I just need to know how she's going to end this. And, you know, it was just a terrible, terrible book. And that is my least favorite book I have ever read.
That makes sense.
I do not recommend. And the cover art's so pretty, and it's, like, so disappointing.
It is a pretty cover. I saw it because it popped up as a recommendation when I was, like, on something about books. I was, like, looking at books. And I was like, you should read this. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to read that.
Yeah, don't.
Did you have another one?
My second least favorite book this year, in itself, it's not like this past one that was really, really bad. It's not a bad book. I just didn't like it because, like I said, I need my bows attached, you know? I need to figure out what happens.
My bows attached.
I need bows attached. And this book is another Donna Tartt, you know, throwback to Secret History. It's called The Little Friend.
Cassie mentioned this before when she was reading it.
I did mention it before. I finished it. It was a very long, very slow, very descriptive book. It was doing a lot of setup with a lot of different converging with a lot of different stories, and then at the last 100 pages, everything just converged at once, and it was so many things happening, and it was so crazy, and it was like, why is this happening? Who are you? What do you mean? Like, so much stuff was happening in the last 100 pages. It just felt like too much was happening, and it was all out of the blue. And the original point of the book, and this is on the back description, is the main character is trying to find out who killed her brother. We never find out who killed her brother. My bows were left untied, and I was just so annoyed. I read the last page, and I was like, that cannot be it. I was pissed. So yeah, if you don't mind that, maybe you'd like it. It is beautifully written. She's a really talented author, obviously. I didn't like it. I wouldn't recommend it. So, yeah. The third worst book this is actually the worst book I've ever read. I didn't finish it because I felt sick and
I was sick and twisted.
I was sick. I know. I felt sick and twisted by association. And it was so disgusting and truly vile. And I don't understand why some people, not a lot of people.
This book has a bad reputation.
Yeah. But some people, like, for the longest time, it was still taught in schools. Like, it's still taught at universities for being beautiful writing. And it's,
you don't mean like in middle school. You mean like in college.
Yeah. It's, yeah. And this book is Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov.
What a perv.
Oh, my God. Perv alert. This guy. And I looked up. I was like, was this guy ever arrested? Because, like, he definitely did some stuff. He wasn't.
Who's surprised?
This book, it was in my parents' little free library in their front yard. And so I was looking at it, and I was like, oh, I've heard of this book. And I was like, oh, and Lana Del Rey has that great song called
like
Lolita.
Lana Del Rey's, like, favorite book of all time, I bet.
No, it's not.
I bet she loves this book.
No,
a lot of her
don't say that about my girl.
A lot of her songs sound like they are Lolita-esque.
No, stop.
I'm saying,
shh.
I'm allowed to say that.
No, you're not. Shut up. Anyways, I didn't really know what it was. I knew that it was a controversial book, but I really hadn't really heard much about it, and so I said, let me try to read this. I only read 20 pages. I got 20 pages into this, like, 200-something page book. Maybe. I don't know. And I had to put it down. I felt so disgusting and just reading it. And we have an episode in the future about books that we could not finish. And that is going to be on there. So I'm not going to get into it too much. But I am just going to say that man needs to... He's probably dead. He needed to be thrown in prison because disgusting. And
he needed to be thrown in prison and then mysteriously die of a so-called suicide, and then we never figure out what happens.
It was
and then all
so,
these emails get released to the public is what needs to happen.
So vile. Yeah.
Okay, well, some of my... so I have 3 books as well. I probably read other things that I was kind of... I definitely read other books where I was like, meh, but these are my least favorite. So this first one is a very short book. It's very short. It's called Your Shadow Half Remains by Sunny Moraine. One of my friends at my old job was like, oh, because we worked together. They were like, oh, you should read this book. I found this book on the shelf. Like, you should read this. And I was like, okay. So, because it was supposed to be like post-apocalyptic, sort of. It is a COVID book, is what it is. It's supposed to sort of parallel COVID because it's a new book. And so I think the author was trying to parallel COVID, being like, this is a plague and like whatever. It's sort of like The Last of Us. But the thing about this book, I'll talk about this book some more, but like in a later episode. But I think that the thing about this book is that the plague that is going around is a plague that you get from other people by looking at them. If you make eye contact with somebody.
Oh, you told me about this. And
the thing is, so many people get this disease in this book, and the main character is obviously terrified of it because it's fatal. Like, there's not a way to survive it. It's not like COVID where like some people were okay. You don't. I think it's like you die if you get this, you're dead. So the main character is like obviously trying not to get this disease, and their mom at one point, because she's like, I don't know if she's already got the disease or if she just is gone. I think she's just gone crazy because she's in her house by herself, their mom, and she like cuts her eyes out to avoid getting the disease. But the thing is could this not be a Bird Box situation where we all put bandanas over our eyes and not look at each other and then we're fine?
Yeah.
They never answer that. How about blind people that can't like see into what if you can't see into somebody else's eyes? Are you getting it? How are you getting it? And then the main character is walking around town and is like, I'm trying not to make eye contact with people through their windows. What do you mean? Through their windows? If they are 100 feet away from you behind a pane of glass, can you still get this disease? Even if you're not in the same room as them? How does a disease that is spread through vision, how does it spread? Through panes of glass. That's not how diseases work. That wouldn't be a disease. That would be like a mind control tactic.
You're not supposed to ask questions.
Well, okay, then don't make such an odd thing be the premise of... I was like, what? And none of these questions ever get answered. But that's not even the point of the book. The point of the book is that this person lives in a cabin by themselves, and one day they find out that they have a neighbor that lives like, further down this abandoned road or whatever. And they it's the first time they've spoken to anyone in a really long time. And it's just supposed to be like, can you have a relationship with someone that you can never look at? Which, yeah, you can.
Ever seen Love is Blind?
Also, like, Jeez. Blind people are in relationships. Also, like, I don't know people. What. Like, I'm just like, does Sunny Moraine not know about blind people? Like, I don't know. So it's just like, I was like, I don't understand. Like, because they get close to each other. You can like sit next to somebody. You just can't look at them. Which to me that's not a virus. So that book just made me mad. That book was like, it's like short. It's like 100 pages. It is a short book.
Yeah, because there's not much else to talk about.
I was just, because it's really just about this person and their neighbor. And then it gets confusing at the end because you're like, I don't know if this person is, like, we're supposed to believe this person is an unreliable, like, I don't know if they're an unreliable narrator or, like, the ending is so confusing and you're like, I'm not sure what's happening and what's not happening and what's real and what's not real. And it's just so odd. I just couldn't stand this book. This book was my least favorite book that I've read in a long time. I was like, don't write a book that is so confusing. This book needs to be 3 times as long, and it needs to have more explanation, and you need to describe to me the chemical, biological makeup of this virus that you've created, because I don't understand. Or come up with a different name for it that's
not a virus.
Yeah, or call it something else, or give it a different way. If it's like an eye virus, that's fine. But
it's
then,
just pink eye.
It can't be that the way people get it is by making eye contact, even if they are nowhere near each other. Like, if you Zoom call somebody and you're looking at the camera and they're looking at the camera, could you get it over a Zoom call? I don't know.
I don't know.
It's just, they don't answer one single question. I just can't. Anyway, I hate that book.
Okay.
And then my second least favorite book, sorry, Cassie, was Timeline by Michael Crichton.
Least favorite is crazy.
That book was so boring. I almost put it down. And then the last, I think, quarter of the book, it might have even been a little bit more. It wasn't half, but it was like, maybe it was the last like third of the book. I skimmed all the way until I got to the end. Because I was like, I cannot keep reading this damn book. It just felt like it was too long. I felt like it was too long. And that was my main complaint, was that it was just too long. And we'll be talking about that book later. And then my third book that I have complaints about is called A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher. And here's the thing. I really like T. Kingfisher as an author. I think that she writes, and I would like to talk about her in a future episode, because I think that she writes Spiderwick for adults, and I think it's fun. And a lot of her books creep me out in a good way, and I like her main characters, but part of the problem is that her main character is the exact same woman with a slight change. She's basically writing herself, I believe, as the main character. Obviously, I don't know her, but it feels like she's written herself, and she makes a slight tweak every time she writes a new book, and it's like, honey, this is the same person 3 times over, and I'm confused. So, and then this book was just ridiculous too. I felt like it took a long time for things to happen, and then when things did happen, I was underwhelmed. I was like, this is supposed to be scary, but it feels silly. Not in a fun way, in like a way where I'm disappointed because I thought it was going to be scary. Because her stuff is like scary, but this one wasn't scary. So that was it was nothing major. It was just that I was like, girl, I've read the same character in 3 different books, and this plot is boring. So, the end. Dang. Those are my least favorite books that I read this year. Since it's the end of the year, I wanted to ask Cassie, do you have any other just general end of the year recommendations or favorite things? Did you have a favorite movie that you saw this year? Did you have a favorite game or a favorite, coffee syrup flavor, or like what? Like, did you have any additional favorite things that you want to just share with the folks?
Oh, I saw Companion.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was a great little romp. I liked that one a lot.
I still have not seen Companion.
I want to watch it. Was that my favorite that I saw in theaters this year? Well, okay, I guess technically Wicked Part 1 was last year, yeah. So no, I can't say that. I can't say that. Oh. Because that was my favorite. But yeah, okay, so for 2025, I guess my favorite would be Companion. I thought it was, honestly, we need more movies like that. It was a perfect 90 minutes. Movies are just too damn long these days. I cannot sit in a theater for 3 hours. Yeah, it was a perfect 90 minutes. It was action-packed. It was cute at first. Then you're like, oh my God. And then it was twists. It was great. I loved it. Companion.
Amazing.
Like who's our favorite song? Ooh, favorite song of 2025. Did I listen to any? Let me look at my Wrapped real quick. Okay, favorite albums. I'll say, Lady Gaga's album. Oh, what is it called? Mayhem. That was probably my favorite album of the year.
You say Mayhem?
Mayhem.
Is that how you say that word?
Mayhem. Mayhem.
You say mayhem?
Mayhem.
That's crazy. I say mayhem. It's mayhem. There's an E. It's not an mayhem.
Mayhem. This is like crayon and crayon.
Yeah, well, we say that word differently too.
Mayhem. Whatever. Screw you. So I would say Lady Gaga, Man's Best Friend, Sabrina Carpenter.
Love Man's Best.
And I honestly, Tate McRae's album.
I tried to listen to the new Tate McRae album, and I was like, I couldn't do it.
Oh my gosh.
I just got bored. I like Sports Car.
I love Sports Car. It's so good.
That's a good song. I do like that song. I think that my favorite movie that I saw this year was Sinners. That movie, I'm obsessed with that movie.
Oh, that was a very good movie.
We saw that in theaters, and I feel like it changed my brain chemistry. And then we rewatched it a couple weeks ago, and I was like, that movie still holds up. Even after, like, not that it still holds up like it's old, but when we rewatched it, I was like, I wonder if, because whenever I watch a movie in theaters, and I'm like, wow, that was a really good movie. I'm always wondering if it's going to hold up when I'm watching it, like, in my house with my, like, I don't have a speaker system, whatever. I don't have a giant screen. So I'm like, was it the vibes? Because I feel like, for me, when we saw Nosferatu, I was obsessed when we saw it in theaters. I was like, that movie was so good. And then I started to watch it at home, and I was like, I feel like part of the reason it was so good was because of the speaker system in the movie theater and the giant screen. Because you're, like, seeing all this stuff on a giant screen, and then, like, at the beginning, when the title card comes up, when she's, like, screaming outside, and there's, like, that demon on top of her, and then it's like Nosferatu, and there's, like, the crazy violins. Yeah. And for me, the sound in a movie theater has so much to do with whether I like the movie or not.
Oh, yeah.
So because Sinners is such a music-focused movie, and it's so sound-based, I was like, I wonder if I'm going to like it as much as when we saw it in theaters, because obviously I don't have the same sound system as a movie theater. And I did, and it was great. And Michael B. Jordan should win an Oscar. So, my favorite movie of the year, Sinners. And then I think my favorite album was definitely, hands down, Man's Best Friend. Apparently, according to my Spotify Wrapped, I spent almost 800 minutes listening to that album. Damn. But I also have a CD, so it didn't count the times I was listening to it, honestly. Oh. And then, you know what? I liked the Florence and the Machine album.
Yeah, me too.
It was not my favorite of the year. I hate to say that. I hate to say it about my girl Florence.
I agree. But I think it would be in my top 5, I think.
No, for sure. It's definitely up there. But it was just not my favorite. But I think my favorite song of the year was probably Tears by Sabrina Carpenter.
Favorite song, Go-Go Juice. I love it. Like, so cute.
It is a cute song.
Like, when I get my Go-Go Juice, I say stupid things. I'm like,
and then at the end, she's like speaking in gibberish, and it's just like funny.
So funny.
Yeah, she's really funny. I really like her. So I think that was my favorite album. My favorite song of the year was probably Tears. Granted, I don't really remember the first half of this year. So I don't know what kind of music was coming. I don't remember anything. That was a long time ago. I don't know.
It was so long ago.
That was just a long time ago. And this year, I feel like every single day, 1 million things have happened. So I don't recall specifics. I also wanted to recommend the game called Winter Burrow. I've been playing it on my little baby Switch. And it just came out. It's so cute. It's very cozy. It's about this little mouse. And he moves into this little house that he used to live in with his family, and then his parents died, and it's really sad. He's a little mouse. Oh. And so he, like, moves back into this, and he's got to, like, clear up the little cabin and, like, help out his neighbors. It's, like, a very community-oriented game. It's very cozy. It's snowing. You have to make him little clothes and food so he can stay outside long enough to go get... It's, like, sort of a survival game, but it's cute. It's low stakes. It's untimed, so you don't have to be stressed. So if you have someone in your life who's a gamer... I'm not a crazy gamer, but I do like a cozy game... and who needs, like, a cozy, low-stakes game to de-stress and also beautiful animation with fun music, this is a good gift, and I just wanted to recommend Winter Burrow because it's so cute. So cute.
Sounds cute.
Okay, Cassie, do you have anything else to say about your favorite things this year?
No, but I will say 2026, Lana, where's the album? It was supposed to be out a few months ago. So.
Uh-oh. She didn't have a new album come out this year?
No. She just released 2 singles that were good. I love Henry, Come On. Not a fan of the other one. I can't remember it. I'm a horrible person. Bluebird, something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Where's the album? 2026, please. Give it to me. Send it to me, Rachel.
She's taking a break.
Send it to me, Rachel.
I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what that means.
It was a TikTok sound.
Okay.
Send it to me, Rachel. I need it.
Okay.
Well, okay, what was the worst movie of 2025? I'm looking at a Reddit of people like saying the worst movies they've seen. I honestly haven't seen any of the movies that they're saying.
What movies are they?
But I think the worst would be probably Snow White. That one looked really bad.
I didn't see that movie.
I saw clips of it. I saw someone review it. Captain America: Brave New World.
Oh, I did hate that.
You saw it?
Yeah.
Ew.
I hate it.
I hate that movie. I haven't seen it, but I will go ahead and say that was the worst movie of 2025.
I honestly can't, but I can't really remember like other, because like
I really only seen like 3 movies in theaters this year, so
we saw a lot of movies. We saw what's that Rami Malek movie where he's an FBI agent?
Oh yeah.
The Amateur, that movie's funny. We saw the movie in theaters and it was hilarious. I was not expecting it to be funny. It's not supposed to be funny.
It's not supposed
but
to be.
It was so funny. Listen, do we like the or is it's the CIA? We don't like the CIA. We don't support the CIA. The CIA is gross. However, it was so funny because he discovers in that movie his character works for the CIA. And he discovers, apparently he did not know this about his employer. He discovers that the CIA has been like meddling in the politics of other countries, which is like what the CIA does.
That's like what they do.
That's like the purpose of the CIA. And he bursts into his boss's office at the CIA and he's like, how could you do this?
That's so funny.
And it's like, what are you talking about?
It's like, dude,
you work for the contract. That is, you haven't looked at the news. What do you mean?
That's so
what do you mean? And then like in every scene that Rami Malek's character is like discovering something new, he like whips off his glasses like off his face. But there are scenes where he's discovering multiple new things in one scene, so he whips his glasses off like 5 times.
That's so good.
In like 3 minutes.
That's
and
incredible.
He's like, he doesn't speak. He just whips his glasses off. And his mouth is open, and you're like, dude, there's got to be another way for you to express surprise. Oh, that movie was funny. Anyway, highly recommend The Amateur if you just want to laugh. I love Rami Malek. No hate to Rami Malek. That movie was funny. His acting was hilarious in that movie, and he gets a bunch of people killed, and we like never go back to it.
Oopsie.
Oh man, it's funny. Anyway. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of A Book for My Sister. We just yapped today, so we hope you enjoyed this like 2-hour-long episode or whatever of us just like talking. It's been super fun doing this so far this year. This is like our 9th episode, I think. Wow. So come back in January and listen to our 10th episode. Oh my gosh. And more. We're going to do more than 10. But, oh my God. Your like microphone was breaking up, so it sounded like you were gargling. Anyway, it's been so fun and we hope you guys are enjoying it. Let us know if you like want to see us talk about anything in particular or you want to hear us yap about something. We're like professional yappers, honestly. In our personal lives, we can basically give us a topic and we'll talk about it for an hour. So if you want to hear us talk about something in particular, just let us know. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at A Book for My Sister Podcast. We'll be back in January with more book-related shenanigans, so keep on yapping and reading until then. Everybody, have a safe, happy holiday season. Have a happy new year. Get home safe if you're out on New Year's, if you're out for the holidays. Be safe. Have a good time. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.